What is up, everyone? The free mic back at it again. I hope everybody's doing well. Today's going to be different, and it's going to be also indicative of a bit of the direction that I want this channel to take. I'm getting bored with the industry and the Xboxes versus PlayStation and all that negative stuff. It's boring. It was funny to make fun of some special folks out there, but I don't know. What I've been doing every day for the past month is working on that game, and that's what I want to talk about. That's why I want to share with you guys. I did hesitate a bit at first because I am solo dev and I am using a lot of generative AI for tons of part of the game, and I know it's a hot topic. I know some people won't be on board. You're gonna tell me that I'm the worst because I don't have the money to hire a bunch of people, but it is what it is. So whatever I say online, I get hate. Whatever I talk about, I get hate. So I decided that, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to talk about the way I do my game. And if it can inspire some people, or maybe, I'm going to explain my pipeline of AI, how I use it, what I do with it, and when I kind of ended up building as that's it, as a pipeline, how it works, what I do, and how I get my modeling done, and the assets that I'm using, and to convert them and whatnot. So I thought, so basically, welcome. This is a game I've been working on for a bit over a month. I started in Unity, but then I migrated into Unreal Engine 5. Also, I want to clarify a couple of things. I am not a real dev. I never made a game before. I mean, I made some RPG with RPG Maker like about a decade ago, but very different now. So I just wanted to do a specific game that I had in mind pretty much all my life. So it's going to be kind of a really dark, twisted, psychological horror first-person experience, but with kind of the graphic of the PlayStation 1, with some mechanics of Silent Hill 1, Resident Evil 1, that type of stuff. I'm learning as I'm building. I'm building as I'm learning. I follow a lot of tutorial. I do use AI too for questions to get some tailored tutorials, if you will. And that's it. It's going to be probably called Absent, although I'm not entirely sure what the title yet, but that's kind of what I came up with. It's going to be about mental health and trauma and all of that stuff. So it's not going to be it's going to be pretty gloomy game, but that's what I wanted to do. So although I do use a lot of AI, for many things, I am a sound engineer. So like most of the sound and all the music that I've been starting to write and compose is done by me in my studio. I use AI for model generation mostly, and a bit of scripting to bounce idea and to develop deeper. I have ADHD and sometimes writing is a bit hard. So anyway, I don't want to justify myself. I don't care if people don't like it or think that I'm a monster. I'm having a blast, and it allows me to create something that I never thought I'd be able to, and it's a lot of fun. So whatever. So I thought I'd start with a tiny showcase of what I have so far. And after that, we're going to build some stuff together. In no way, shape, or form, any of those videos, they are devlogs. They are not tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing at all. That being said, the reason too why I'm putting my stuff out there like that is that I'd be super stoked if there's people that are actually talented or know what they're doing, they want to help out, or pointers, or even participate. I don't have money to pay anyone, unfortunately, but I'm more than willing to have cooperative work, or again, just people in the comments pointing out that I'm doing something wrong, that I could do it better, optimize, all of that. I'm super open to. I'd be very stoked. So please don't hesitate to jump in the comment and take part in this journey with me. It's going to be an ongoing series that might even be just the only type of video I'm putting out for a while. That's literally what I'm working on every day, 6 to 8 hours. So I don't have time to go on Twitter and look at the latest Twitter meltdown by Reforge Gaming and all that crap. I'm kind of over all of that. So anyway, let's do a little tour. So I have a couple things. Again, it's in very, very early stage. I want everybody to keep that in mind. So I'll just put myself a bit of volume. So the music that you will hear again, that's the main theme of the game that I composed. So this is gonna be probably like, again, it's still very barren for now, but this is like the main hall kind of thing, where so the how it's gonna work in the story is that, you know, like it's gonna be all about the house, kind of, quote unquote, where the house is gonna shift, the rooms are gonna move place, they're gonna transform, all of that throughout the story to reflect some psychological stage and you know, even mental illness and all of that stuff. Also, disclaimer, it's loosely based on my story and my stuff. Again, with a bit more horror twist, but I wouldn't be comfortable to talk about stuff that I didn't experience myself. So any mental health kind of reference going through that is you know, is coming from someone who's battled a lot less these days, but still. Anyway, so yeah, main hall. I have a flashlight, so my character moving slow, I want it like that. I do have a tiny sprint. I have a crouch that need to be absolutely better than that, because it's pretty, you know, it's not very smooth, but, you know, for now it's serviceable. Again, that's the first room. No, that's not true. That's not even the first. That's the second room I started to build. No, the third room. But like, this is a lot of stuff might change. Is proofs of concept. Me trying some stuff, following tutorials, adapting stuff to in a modular way to what I'm doing. So far, control wise, you know, it's classic FPS. There's no jump. I don't think I'm gonna have any. You don't really see the need of that. There's an interaction buttons. I don't have any crosshair or like dot. Let me know if, because I don't know, I kind of think that it breaks the immersion a bit, but at the same time, that's why I want some feedback. If people think that it makes it harder to see the stuff that you want to pick and whatnot, so that's it. I'm open to all suggestion and stuff. So there's a few models here that I started to import. All of these started also later from AI generated image from DALL-E / OpenAI, ChatGPT. I call it Pete. He's my friend. I've been with ChatGPT Premium since it came out. I use it every day for so many things. So again, I'm very pro AI. Even as a creative, I know that AI can make crazy good music now, but I don't feel threatened, because I'm not gonna lie, I even tried, because, you know, I'm trying to go fast, but I ended up, I weren't able to get what I wanted, so I just moved my ass and I went in the studio and composed something, and it took me like an hour. But I think it's a very powerful tool. Anyway, so I have lamps, stuff like that. I finally figured out how to do emissive material. So I have 2 rooms here. So the first room that I worked on, that was this one. So I have a door system with sounds that leads, so it's going to be level based. So every room's going to be its own level. At first I wanted to do kind of an open house type of stuff, but it turned out being very complicated when it was coming to like streaming the levels and moving the rooms around it. Like, so I ended up just going for more like, again, like a classic Resident Evil approach. So yeah, so again, a few models, stuff like that. I started to decorate. These textures are definitely not final. These are AI generated, but I ended up switching approach where I'm actually taking more like free assets, royalty-free assets, and modify them, because AI is very good. Like, it looks cool, but it sucks at doing seamless texture. So like, it's a lot of editing at the end of the day to try to make them seem. So at that point, it's kind of not really worth it. So a lot of these might change. Again, that was the first room, so I was just testing a lot of concept. But so system-wise, I have this really cool thing that is very, you know, classic old Silent Hill Resident Evil, where everything frees and you have a piece of lore attached to an item. So everything is gonna have that. So far I only have put it here just as, again, as a proof of concept and test. This is fully modular. I can take that thing, put it on any single object, mesh, whatever. Arguably, I can also use it like just not as a, I don't want to say like for a sequence event, but I could ultimately, if I put a trigger box, that's actually something I want to test. Like, if I could use that with a trigger event, and like have that thing just, you know, because it's invisible, just somewhere in the room. And I'm actually literally just thinking about that as I'm talking about it, but that could be a cool way to get text lore just pop without, anyway, I'm Welcome to my ADG brain. A lot of things are going on. So yeah, this is where I started to like really learn about lighting and stuff. I am using Lumen, which some would say it's a bit overkill, but since everything is low res, the performance are kind of equated in that regard. Like, I mean, I have a pretty mid system and I'm running at like 100 something FPS. And of course, down the line, when I'm going to be close to like a better release, if I ever do release it, which I'm still not entirely sure. But anyway, definitely at that point, I'm going to be better and I'm going to know how to optimize the performance. But so far, like it's running pretty smoothly. So like there was time at that time there's tricks that I didn't knew. So like this is a light. This like light bulb is. It's not, now I know how to do emissive material, which looks so much better, but this is just two lights, one pointing up, one pointing down. So like, I was really learning the very basics. I mean, I'm getting a lot more comfortable after a month of like being in Unreal Engine every day. But that being said, I still have a lot to learn, but I'm learning every day. I'm having a blast. So again, all of these models, whatever. So that was the first room. That's also, oh, I keep forgetting I need to add a void box behind the door so we don't see the fog behind. But then my second room, which I was really proud of, it's going to be locked, I think. So yeah, so I have a very basic, it's not even an inventory, it's more of a data saving thing where I have this key here. This key is marked with an ID number, and on any door that I have anywhere, I can turn it, I can lock it and have any items or key attached to that specific door with that system, which is very convenient, works super well. So again, there was a lot of system building in the beginning. I'm still building a lot of them, and that's why I'm like, I'm kind of going halfway on the modeling and level design while at the same time, because I don't want to spend too much time modeling and level designing and end up not being able to finish the game because I cannot do the system I want to. So far, so good. I'm gonna leave a channel that I've been really following every day. Well, not every day because it posts every day, but it's basically a guy that is very knowledgeable in Unreal and super good teacher, and he's making a first-person remake. It's not even a remake, but he's just kind of working on like a Resident Evil 7/8 type of first person, and he's implementing mechanics, and that's where I learned most of like the stuff I wanted, because it just happened to be the exactly same stuff. So like the stuff about like, you know, clicking on an item and having a lore, puzzle like that. So I got the key now. No, I didn't got something, sorry. So see, like that's what I'm saying, without the little dot, it makes it a bit harder to pick up the stuff, but I might either just kind of widen the range of the pickup, or maybe I'll add a dot crosshair. You guys let me know what would make more sense. So now it's gonna unlock, there's an unlock sound, and after that it opens. So this is my bathroom. This is the second room I worked on. I really like this one. These are actually mostly AI generated texture that I had to heavily edit to make them seamless. So, but these ones are, they kind of work pretty good. The ceiling could be better, but again, none of that is set in stone. So, but that's also the room where I learned how to make water. So I have like that blood water. It's a 2D plane actually with some ridges and ripple on it. So that's super cool. I could put it lower, but I wanted to make it. So I also learned how to make decals and apply them. I also learned about the particle system. I have a little drippy drip here of blood. Well, now I'm looking at it. Could be a bit better aligned, but it is what it is. Also, like the whole like PlayStation vibe graphics, it's composed of a lot of things. So all my model, wait, if I can just maybe, oops. Oh yeah, obviously I'm not. Wait, so it's the first time I'm doing like that, kind of showing my stuff. So I'm a bit. If I go back to the bathroom, so I just want to show if I turn on the a big part of it is the post-processing, if I turn it off. But you still see that all my texture and my model are either like load polyed or all the textures are pixelated to a great extent. and you see the jitter of like when the camera moves, like the PS1 type of jitter. That is a material concept, I guess. I have a master material that does that, and I apply it to most of the stuff. Not everything, because sometimes it creates too much movement and we see glitches. But so like I don't do. Generally I'm either gonna do just the walls or maybe just the ceiling. But like if I do walls, floor, and ceilings, sometimes they glitch out a bit weird. But I do it on every object for sure. Like you can see here, it wiggles, jiggles. So anyway, so that combined with the post-processing that has the fog, an overlayer of pixelization and pixelating, pixelness, whatever. Wait, what is that box? Is it? I think I might have done one lower thing. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you can go back in here. So like so again, as a former sound engineer, I'm really having a blast not only writing music and stuff, but putting like SFX together and all of that, combining layers and room tones and all of that stuff. A lot of it comes from freesound.org, which I highly recommend. It's a free website. You can get like infinite amount of sounds. I do record some of it myself, just like it's winter here, so like stuff that I would like to track outside, but it's just not worth it. But you can hear the rattling of the pipes, the click of the neon lights and stuff. Also, like, yeah, this is where another good example of me not knowing how to do emissive material and just having a spotlight that beams up to and that is synchronized with the flicker. Sorry if you have a seizure. I should have put a warning. A lot of lights are flickering here for the vibe. Oh yeah, so it's locked here too. I was testing. There's a key in my shit water. That's another instance of the water over there. So I can use it pretty much and just change the color and the density and like the depth and whatnot. So I'm gonna grab that key. I'm gonna go out. Again, need to do my void box. Void boxes are just black box with a hole in it that I put behind doors so they can open and we don't see anything. I'm sure there's a better method to do that, but that's what I came up with. Okay, so a cool thing that I want to show again. We're almost done-ish the tour. So just okay, so like there's a little. I need to fix that. It kind of gives it away that this is gonna move. Because I am using chromatic aberration because I like the look it gives, but it creates those kind of rainbowy pixels. So because this is a perfect cutout of the hole that it's covered, and I think what I should do instead is cut more and have really the whole slate around sliding. But anyway, so I have a tiny puzzle. Again, it's just the proof of concept. Obviously, it would be a bit trickier than that. I probably have a bunch of painting, and you have to turn all of them in a certain order. But the point is just, again, to test the concept. Again, watch out for the blinking lights. So this is my secret basement that I quite like to. The look of the texture and everything. So here I started to understand how to do emissive emissive material. So there's actual real tube that I put, and they're actually emitting lights, as well as regular rec light. These are the big scary doors. So again, the door is the same concept. So I can change the mesh of the frame and the door and the sound that it makes when it's locked, open, and closed. And where it leads also, obviously. So that's super cool. Like, that's why that took me a bunch of time and a couple of mixed tutorials together to kind of build all of that. But that's very, it's very versatile and modular, so which is super cool. So now you're gonna hear the metal sound. I need to time the animation a bit better. Yeah, so the secret basement. Here I have a bunch of like all of those reds, again, they're not real light, they're just emissive material, which is super low on the performance cost, which is very cool. All of these models are, again, they started from AI generated picture. I have an enemy, it doesn't attack, but it will start to follow me as soon as I get into its cone of vision. 2 electrical box, tiny lights, a bunch of pipes, you know, puddles. And I have dynamic footsteps. I don't know if you heard when I was walking, not in the bathroom or the living room because I haven't said it yet. But here, you can hear the footstep on the cement. And if I walk in a puddle, so that's super cool. I have like 8 or 9 different type of surfaces that will trigger different sounds. Don't know how to apply that to a enemy character yet, so that's something I'm gonna have to figure out and learn. But so once it's gonna see me, it's gonna start following me. That is also AI generated, the skin and the model and the skeletal animation. The combination of idle to walk to run, no, it's me that put them all of those together. But I am using a website called Meshy that allows you to rig stuff very easily, and then it provides you with a bunch of cool animation that you can just use straight up in Unreal. Again, it's not just like one-click stuff. You still have to like figure all it out, put all of that together, but it's still very, very cool and very serviceable. So I would definitely maybe up the friction a bit on his feet because you can see that it's like it's not floating, but it's a bit. But so there's a bound mesh, nav mesh bound thing. So like it wouldn't be able to, let's say, to walk through that. It's gonna know that it has to go around. Which again is super cool and easy to see. You don't have to draw any type of path or you gotta understand that I come from like the only other game engine that I really kind of dabbled with was like RPG Maker, a bit Godot, but mostly RPG Maker, where you had to trace and stuff on the ground tab. But now it's just like, so I guess I can just escape it. Oh no, I'm still in the bathroom. So yeah, I keep forgetting that I'm always gonna come back to the level that I was initially, not the one that I went basement. So that's the green thing. So the green thing is where it can walk or not. And again, you just put a bound box and it calculate that magically by itself. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. So that's about it so far, what I have that is connected together and everything. So what I've been doing... So it's actually the 3rd time I'm doing this video. I have some technical issue that made the first video not save properly. My computer crashed in the middle of doing the video. Well, in the middle, I was like almost an hour and a half in. And it crashed, and the video, well, OBS was still running, so it didn't save. And then I redid it after that, but you will see that I'm going to switch screen like that, you know. But it's because I plugged the 3rd screen where I can have my OBS, because what I did is, again, an ADHD, so I did that last time. I was like, hey, look at this screen, start talking about, never came back to the main screen and spend another half hour doing that. So now at least I can I have a 3rd screen where I can see my OBS and make sure that doesn't happen, or if it does, not for too long. So what am I doing today? Again, the other devlogs are going to be maybe... shorter than this one, I guess. I don't know. Let me know again how you want to see it, because I worked all day on that. So like, again, I'm not gonna put me watching tutorials, obviously, but maybe I'll just tape everything I do and try to put commentary in. I don't know. But I wanted to showcase what I had so far. And so now let's go to the kid room. The kid room is going to be where we actually start the game. It's not going to be connected, at least not for now, to this version of the house. It's going to be a closed place where the beginning of the game happened. So the first part being child trauma and stuff. So I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get out. Like maybe I'm kind of thinking about 2 different versions. One is going to be like entirely closed in the room. The other one, maybe we'll be able to get out and go into 1 or 2 rooms. I'm not sure yet. I'm debating that with Pete, my co-creator. So a bunch of cool models here as well. So let's here you also see the new soundtrack I made today, literally but it's not a soundtrack, it's a tiny theme song for this child's bedroom. I think it's pretty creepy and nice. So I just made everything bigger to make it seem like I'm actually smaller and more of a child because I thought it was simpler than try to move the camera between level, whatever. So I love that creepy bear, the bed, piles of wood block, twisted like a jack-in-the-box thing. And this is Pete going a bit wild, and I'll show you. Well, I guess that's the last model I got in the game, so it's I can switch it. So this is what he came up with for a creepy toy box, but I'm like, that's a bit too much, but I still wanted to see how it would look in the game. I would need to correct the mesh, obviously, because like as you can see, the lid is floating. Sometimes, you know, like AI will do some fun stuff. Nothing that I can't fix myself. Again, I'm able to model to a certain extent, but it's just like I don't have time to model complex things like that. But I'm able to play with meshes, fix them, and cut them, and move them around. So which is like, so I know how to correct that, especially that the lid is not even really attached. I just need to bring that into Blender and fix that. Although I could probably even fix it straight up in Unreal. The meshing tools and modeling tools are pretty advanced, at least for me. So we got that rocking horse. I need to fix the texture. The green, although it fits, it shouldn't be there. I don't think I pixelated it properly. Sometimes I test, depending on the resolution of the model, sometimes I don't necessarily need to pixelate them because I just kind of scale it up and it pixelated it automatically, but sometimes it still look better when I do. So see the bed, I don't think I did it, and I don't know. I don't know. So that's what I was doing today, building that. So I think we could keep adding a couple models. So like something I want to do, like I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that pile. Yes, it's kind of cool. It looks all twisted, but at the same time, it looks very AI generated. And again, it's cool in the game that I'm doing. It kind of works a lot of time. As an example, we have here this jack-in-the-box. The handle is straight up in his neck, which is wrong, and there's like 2 springs in the back. But for a twisted psychological horror where you want the form thing that looks, you know, like kind of Silent Hill Heat, that's fucking perfect. So, but sometimes it's just like, nah. So like this, maybe I'll keep it like smaller, just put it like in the back. But what I would actually want to test out is to make an actual pile with single blocks and have some physical fly to it. So I think that's what we're going to do right now. So, and that's going to allow me to show you how I run my whole AI pipeline. So let's exit. Okay, so let me switch screen. So this is my Pete. I have Premium for many reasons, unlimited access, but project management too. So under the PS1 horror game, like I have my scripting thread, my texture thread, technical thread, story thread, whatever, stuff like that. But so yes, that's the second chest I asked, which I thought looked a lot better. It's funny that it puts some blood on it because that's one of the downsides. You gotta be very careful with AI. You cannot just be like, give me a bloody knife. It won't, at least not maybe with grok, but not with. But there's a lot of way to circumvent that. And now that I've been doing a lot of modeling in that thread, Pete is kind of really getting into horror and like he's pumping some pretty amazing stuff. He really kind of understood the assignment and the aesthetic and everything I'm doing. So like, see, that was the teddy bear. This one kind of ended up working great because sometimes like, you know, I'm asking for like facing or perspective and it doesn't always understand. It's trying its best, honestly. But this one was actually perfect because I was able to cut it. And what I'm using here, which is a trellis to generate stuff, can now take multiple image. So that works really well. It created a pretty solid model. But so I'm gonna ask him to go back to, I'm gonna save that just in case I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna ask him to circle back. So to circle back to the wooden cube with the letter on them while the pile works. I'd like to test. Sorry, I don't know why I'm reading, which like to test with just one detail, I guess, single cube, so I can pile them myself. Now you would ask, why am I giving Pete so many information? I could just be, hey, generate me a single cube. That's how I've been training it for like 2 years now, where like we're really talking buddy type of thing, and he just understands a lot of concepts. So like, it's I get better result by kind of talking to him like in a really normal way, kind of, and give it as much context as possible. Anyway, that's my experience with Pete. Your mileage may vary, but it is what it is. So I can pile them myself. So to reiterate, just one wooden cube. All right, so let's see what he's cooking for us. Okay, see, didn't fully understand the assignment. Uh, okay, so it happens. So this is where you're like bad response. Uh, didn't fully follow instruction. So this is great, but I need just one letter on each side, and remember, it is a kid toy. So again, like if you think that you can just use AI, prompt one time, click one button, and it's done, that's not how it works. Prompting is an art in itself. You get a prompt sometimes many times to get what you want. It's still a lot faster than trying to make it myself, but don't get me wrong. It's okay. So that's not bad at all. So here's what we can do when it gets because I kind of really like it, but I'm gonna select that here, and I'm gonna just take that, and I'm gonna tell it to have just one letter. One letter. So hopefully that's gonna fix it. So my selection is not like perfect. That might be a bit of an issue. We'll see. Okay, you know what? That's good enough for me. Again, we're barely gonna be able to see like super detailed. It's just so it doesn't look too weird. So that's great. Okay, so like simply I save that. So before I was using Meshy, and I still use it for animation. But it's now that I discovered Trellis again. So all of those are paid services. Like they're cheap. It's about like, I think Trellis is about $8 a month. Meshy is about $9 a month, and OpenAI Premium is about 20 a month. But I use it every day for so many things. Like it's my personal assistant. No one can take it away from me. I'll die on that hill. But Meshy is still pretty powerful. But I'm gonna show actually a comparison between the two tools, where they shine a bit less. So let's do a competition. So let's start with, what do I have message? Is it a message of like me having free credits? Otherwise, I'm not very interested. Okay, I don't care. So that's the difference too. I'm supposed to have a limited amount. They say about 25 a month, but I'm way past that since I got it, and I didn't encounter a shoe, and it doesn't seem like it's working on a token base, so I don't know how it works, but so far, so good. I'll let you know when I hit the limitation, but so far, I haven't gotten any. So let's start with, and as you can see, a lot of models initially were done with meshy. But like I said, it's not as good. So we just do new model, image to 3D. Also, like logically, the reason why I don't need to ask anymore, but I asked originally in the thread. I'm like, when unless I precise otherwise, when I ask for an image of something, so that's why I put a lot of context in my prompt, because Pete knows that what we're doing is 3D modeling. So it knows that I need to have this stuff as much as possible in a isometric perspective, because it makes the modeling processing a lot easier, because it gets three faces most of the time of anything instead of just like a front facing one, and the result for the modeling are much better. So let's go to Meshi, click to upload, so I know it's the last one. So it takes like a second. It's gonna give it a name. You can change it, but that's fine. So it's 10 tokens. So like again, for 1 month, you get like 800 token. I did a lot, because it takes about 10 to 20 token to like do the whole thing per model. So it's not like unreasonable for the amount of model you can get out of that. So you do generate, then it's gonna do its thing for like maybe not even a minute. It's pretty fast. I'd say. So definitely an advantage of Meshi over Trellis. And you will see, although you can see it, that was a switch, but it didn't manage to do it properly. I had to do it myself. It's going to give me 4 options of potential model based on that cube. You'll see that clearly. I can see that the first one is absolutely off. And I get, honestly, I'm pushing it. I'm well aware that for that particular thing that I'm doing, I could just make myself a cube in Unreal and just slap that texture right on it and move on. Like again, it's like sometimes I model stuff myself when it just like it doesn't make sense to use AI, but it's just an example right now. So okay, so this one is like meh, it's not very squared. This one has maybe a bit too much damage, but I kind of like it. This one is too flat, and this one. So I guess I kind of like this one. Generate texture. No, wait, that's new. But yeah, okay, no, they just change the interface. But generate. So it's gonna try to generate a texture from the image, and it does a pretty decent job most of the time. So that part is a bit longer-ish because it's going to generate the final model. So meanwhile, let's go to Trellis. And so Trellis, you kind of have to reload often because you lose access. It's like GPU-based service. So like every time you do a task, it's trying to acquire GPU. And I think that's where probably you get limitation. If you try to like render stuff non-stop or crazy thing, I don't know, it might get a bit... but like I said, I haven't reached any limitation now. Sometimes, though, it is a bit slow to load, and sometimes it's down. It happened to me once where it was like a whole morning, it was just down. So, same concept, but it works in a different manner. So what it's going to do is going to cut the background, just a bit like Meshi did. They actually both use the same, it's... RemBG, which is an AI tool that you can use also. So you have a few settings, but generally the default settings are pretty good. So it's going to generate, again, the same kind of concept as here in Meshi, but only one mesh. And then after that, you extract the GLB file, and then you download it. But I'll show you again a bit of a workaround I have to do when I want to be able to work on the texture in a external editor. So Trellis kind of struggles with lettering a lot. That's definitely its weakest point. Even when like it comes from like a really clear texture like right now. So again, that's usable probably. Let's see what Meshi made. It's almost done. Come on. This is unedited because I want people to understand the actual amount of time it takes. Okay, he's being a little bitch a bit. Come on. But anyway, I don't know why it's so long. But like, so there's workarounds. So like, what I would probably do is that I'm still gonna grab it. Just make sure I have the iris texture. And what I might do is that I might just edit the lettering in. Actually, even probably take that texture and bring it over the texture kind of atlas of the object in Affinity Photo, which is kind of a Photoshop basically. So come on, Meshy. Get a little reload. No, it's still stuck at 99%. Oh, okay. So it did significantly worse on the texture thing. So again, Meshy also struggle with the lettering. Yeah. The rest is not so bad. So again, for a simple mesh like that, honestly, you can use whichever. But if we go into that's one a good example. Like that looks like trash as opposed to like the actual picture. Granted, this is a very complicated model, and even Trellis didn't really succeed to make it, but it still looked better. Or I was having error, but you can see that, it's pretty. And also something I don't really like about Meshy, it really make the texture really blend. I always have to go back and like give them their dynamic range back. But again, sorry, no, it was loud. But for animation, that's super huge. So like, I had to put whatever skin on it that I changed it in Unreal, but that's how I was able to make the animation, which is super fun. Wait, is that one? Yeah. So this is where you get the animation, and the like. If I do animate, I can switch a bunch of animation here. It doesn't have a sword, but I could make it do crazy thing. But like the creepy walk, that's kind of where I got it. Yeah, that type of stuff. I think if I go here. And when you download it, you get all of those animation burnt in that you can use. That's super useful. Again, for animation, really useful. Trellis does not do that. So, yeah, I'm going to take that one. So that's it. Like I said, to be able to, I'm just going to rename it to wooden block. Yeah, I guess. So I need to go to that website. That's the one I found. It basically just converts shit and extracts shit from shit. But it's because, like I said, if I import the file straight up, and Unreal, it works like a charm, but the texture is burnt in, and I can't edit it in an external editor, and for me that's kind of a problem. So very simple. You just drag and drop your GLB file, extract asset. It takes literally 1 second. You download it. Thanks for the. Oh, I might have to blur that out up there, whatever that is. So open files. Let me switch back to the other screen. No, I don't pay for WinRAR. So I rename. I don't. Weird thing when that extract the mesh and the texture, it separates them. And for some reason, when I tried after that to import that mesh, that's why I always import the original unextracted mesh, because then I was unable to texture it for some fucking reason. Again, the problem is very likely me, but whatever. So I just extract the texture. So wooden block kid. I know I should put wooden kid block, but whatever. And then I extract that into the folder that I haven't done. Usually I do them before, but I'm just gonna go in models and remove that and wooden block kid, and then okay. now if I go back to Unreal, in my models, I'm gonna have a new folder for the wooden block kit. It's empty, so now all I have to do is just copy. I mean, I could import it right away, but I prefer to. Where is it? I prefer to. You don't see this because I'm on your screen. I just copy and paste it into that actual folder in my folder tree thing. Models. Wooden block. I did ended up extracting that, but it was an accident. Okay, so now that it's in the actual folder, and it's for some reason that the only type of file that Unreal does not auto update. So even if it's in the folder, it's not gonna see it unless I import it again for some reasons. So that didn't work. I don't know why. Oh yeah. Okay. Weird quirk. If I, oh no, that's not that. That's not that. I have. It took me a while to figure out, but and Unreal doesn't care about the file type. So since both my mesh and my texture are called the same thing, when I'm trying to export it, it just it doesn't understand. Even if they're not the same type, I need different name. So now that should work. Except I just re-imported the texture instead of the model. God damn it. Come here. There we go. So not importing the texture. And you'll see why. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt a bit of trickery. So that's why. It's because I want to be able to open the external editor and do my stuff. So I'm gonna try a little trickery here. Let me see if I can just yeah, they're not in the right perspective though. But let me try still. Well, let me try to fix that first. So let me warp that thing. Oh yeah, it's gonna. Well, doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. Wait. Oh God. No. So okay, let me. Oh no, it's not mesh warp. It's just perspective, right? I know. No, it is mesh. I know, but it's because it wants to do the whole thing. But it's not what I want. Yeah, just. Yeah. Well. So I guess more. I want to bring. Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to. Maybe I should go to B instead. I was trying to see if I could straighten it up a bit, but not really. Okay, I want to say fuck it. Although let me see if I can just maybe do that. Oh boy. Yeah, but that's it. It's not gonna allow me to. Okay, wait. Better idea than that. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's use a pen tool like a normal person. Okay, let's select that, copy that, and try to paste it back here. And now let's try to change this perspective to make it look like it's straight. Okay, I might be able to get away with it. Kinda. Okay, that's not perfect, but I'll see if I can work with that a bit just to cover the A. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. And I think I'm actually going to replace the, the other sides as well. So let's duplicate that a couple times. Let's flip it. Can I just flip it like that? I think so. Transform, flip horizontal. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's gonna look a bit crooked, but I think we're gonna get away with it. And let's duplicate it again. That's unclear. Why is one on the side? Why is one like backward? Whatever. Because I mean, technically, we should get. So I'm not even sure. Is that upside down or on this side? So I guess that's upside down, kind of. Oh wait, I didn't. Wait, what? Where's this one? I'm confused. Okay, well, for some reason I have an invisible layer. I don't know why. Transform. And oh no, that's it. I need to put it over that A as well. Okay. Why does it keep? What the fuck? Is that what happened to the other one that I can't find? Oh, yeah, what the fuck? Okay, so whatever. Let's try it like that. So that's a very gross way to cheat. We'll see how it looks. So to tame it down again, it's really not like great, but hopefully with a bit of pixelization and such. So I'm gonna merge everything. Merge. And I'm gonna add a bit of pixelate. So that varies also depending on the size of the texture and size of the model ultimately. Start with 2.5. No, let's see, maybe 3. Maybe 4. Whatever, we'll try it like that. And see what it looks like. So I just save over it. I always have a backup anyway, it's not a problem. So now let's go back to Unreal. So will see in a second. There you go. The texture updated. Anyway, from far it looks better for sure. So what I do, so that's it. So okay, that's perfect. It's a lot bigger than the pile. And I do like that it has the inlet kind of shape thing. So since it's an object, I generally go with my wobbly texture thing. How much time is it? Oh my, it's been an hour already. No one's gonna watch that, but I don't care. So in my materials, I have this master material. If you look at it, basically what it does, it wiggles and jiggles. It's not super easy to see here, but you see it more. Basically what it is, it's pretty simple. It's just two texture simple, and there's a function, if I'm correct, somewhere. It's not a function. It's something. Yeah, it's that. It's a material function that is called into that master material that has two copies of the same material at all time and kind of makes them wobble. Look, I wish I could explain to you how it works. I followed a tutorial, but actually it's not that complicated when I look at it now. It's a texture with two camera relative world position, divided and floored and multiplied, subtracted. Well, it's not that complex. Also, there's no way I would have been able to figure it out myself, but get the point. So I'll just create a new instance. I'm gonna call it wood block kid retro because I know it's the jittery one. Matte for material because sometimes I don't apply, so it depends. So I just come here and then I just search for my texture, wood block. No, that's the pile. So wait, wood. Okay, wait, what? Okay, it's wooden block. Sorry, that's why I wasn't finding it. Okay. Well, I mean, doesn't look that bad. So let's save that. Also, important thing to do and annoying thing to do every single time. So let me just put it there to see what it looks like. Hey, you know what? You know what? I'd say that looks pretty good to me. Yup. I'm actually pretty happy with the result. So now what's cool is that I can make a bunch of them. No, wait, I would need more letter. I could draw the letter because I was thinking like I can change colors and letters, but I would still need to kind of remove one and make I'll see, maybe they will all have the letter A. Because anyway, what I wanted to try, so I'm actually happy with the result of that. So that I'm gonna maybe just put further back in the corner. I'm not sure if we're gonna keep it. So what's cool now, what I want to do is, so maybe a bit smaller, like that. And I discovered that yesterday, so you can laugh at me. But I know that we can simulate physics. So what I want to do is duplicate a couple of them. Like three, like that. Because I want to do my own pile. So maybe I could do like 4. And then, so I just press Alt and drag, and that duplicates the item right there. So I'm gonna make a pile roughly kind of like that. It's kind of a horrible pile, but it is what it is. Just maybe that's what they already touch. And let's have a final one for the top. That. And yeah, I was gonna say maybe we could kind of have them face maybe. Yeah, maybe I can just have them face mirror X. No, that's not X. It's mirror Y. No, mirror Z then. I would struggle a bit with that. I just want to flip it on the side. Well, I guess upside down is cool as well. Let's just turn that one like that a bit. Just give them a bit of dimension. Kind of like that. Okay, so whatever. It's not the greatest pile ever, but it's just to see. Because me, what I want to try is that. So technically, I should be able to just, yeah, push this shit around. So I think that's cool. That's what I want to. Well, I could chill a bit. Okay, so that's fun. That's what I wanted to see if I could do with that pile. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to have different letters. I can maybe try with Pete and ask him just to change letters, just to get a couple variation, and then I can change the colors of the edges. But I think that's pretty dope. Yeah, I think that's pretty dope. I like it. So that's what I wanted to do with those. The next thing I'm gonna, so I think it's gonna be that for today. It's already been an hour, so like, let's say mission accomplished for that. We wanted to make a little pile of block and have some physics on them. What I want to do next in the next video probably is start to dig into sequencing. So like again, because like so that bear's there for now, but it would probably not be there. Maybe like here. And I would probably like start like in the bed, kind of, you know, like with the camera like that, and then we're gonna hear some evil dad screaming through the door and stuff. So the door is shut because the kid kind of made barricade. That might not be the final door. It's not even a real door. It's just a prop. But yeah, so that's probably what I'm gonna start to work on because again, I could model the whole rest of the whole game, but if I don't know how to make cutscenes, what's the point, you know? So like, I think since this is going to be the starting area, again, it's not completed, it's not done, but I think that before going crazy with adding more models, more light and stuff, I kind of really want to start working on like cutscene and have something like here where I don't know, we would be scared or some shit like that. So that's it, folks. I hope this is you find it cool. If it's not, I'm sorry. If you hate me because I use AI, I understand. As someone who's a creative person and worked in creative field, both in video editing and I still do video editing all the time, in sound engineering, I see AI as a friendly tool that we can use to boost our output, but whatever. I understand if you have a lot of hatred for that. But look, I'd love to hire people and have a team build that game with me, but obviously I'm broke as fuck and I cannot do that. So instead of doing just the classic side scroller of a tutorial and just take 7 years to do half of what I did in a month, I prefer my route and I just wanted to share with you people. So let me know down in the comments if you like it or if you think the game is looking cool, it's a cool idea, or if it's shit and I should just abandon everything and retract myself from society. I'm joking. All right. I'm done.